Okay, good morning, and thank you very much for joining us. I am Yori Folani. I hope you had a great weekend. Well, there's been so much that's been happening, and I think we need to give it a little bit more time for it to sort of marinate properly. Let's not just jump at it. But one thing that has been marinating for a while is the stewardship of the president in terms of what he's been up against and what he's been doing about it, and what the current environment looks like. Our guest this morning is a commentator on public affairs, architect Tunde Imolehin. He's an architect and he's an environmentalist as well, apart from being a stalwart of the ruling party. So a fine morning to you, Tunde.
Morning, Mr. Fulari. It's good to be here again.
Same feeling here. Okay. As you know, there's been the conversation has been ongoing. Times are quite tough in the country, and that has led to a lot of people speaking about the state we're in and what is being done about it. And as you know, there will be many who will be saying that absolutely nothing is being done about it. Just look at it. Look at our condition. Look at where we are. And there are those who will be saying that, hang on, guys, let's put back on the cap of reason. We know what's going on. And one of the last things you can say is that the president isn't doing anything. The president and his team are not doing anything about it. But, however, translating directly a Yoruba expression into English, it is not when stomach is in the hunger is in the stomach that any other matter will get a fair, hearing. So that, I think, is what we're at. And the truth is, there are many who are in that.
I understand.
It doesn't matter whether you're a supporter, whether you're not a supporter, none of that matters. Look at this protracted thing that we've been dealing with, the minimum wage. Is it? Yeah, that's what it is, the minimum wage. The president, he has been hands-on on that. In fact, we have, a little film about that. Let's look at that as one of the things that have been going on behind the scene. Is by no means
That's a fine example of collective bargaining.
Exactly. Let's look at this picture. Let's look at this video, and then we'll be right back to continue our conversation.
Okay.
Every weekday on Business Nigeria, we uncover the secrets of the financial world,
breaking down intricate economic and financial matters.
We analyze the stock market, shares, bonds, and the thrilling world of cryptocurrencies.
We unveil and analyze complex policies of the CBN and other government parastatals as they affect your everyday life, keeping you a step ahead every time.
Okay. This is good. Facts matter. Our team dives deep to separate fact from popular opinion.
We simplify complex government policies as it impacts your everyday life, helping you navigate the ever-changing financial landscape.
Watch Business Nigeria every weekday at 2 p.m. only on TVC News. First with breaking news.
Okay. Hello again. Apparently, we couldn't get hold of the video as at when we wanted to. But you know all about it. And once again, architect Tunde Imolehin is our guest. So as I was saying, Tunde, before going over to attempt to play that video, if we were to look at, do an assessment of the efforts of this administration, give me an overview of how you would put it, because things are hard, and people want the condition to be much better, not just tomorrow, possibly even yesterday, if you get my meaning. That's how bad things are. Give me your assessment and efforts at redressing these issues.
Yes, thank you very much, Mr. Flowering. As a Nigerian, if you ask me to speak on what is going on, I would say that legitimately I have every right to assess my government. I have every right to assess the president. I have every right to assess the people that have entrusted power in. And I would say that I have a right to criticize based on, I have the grounds. But if you also ask me to do the same thing as a Nigerian, as a patriot, I will also tell you that I have a right, okay, to assess the president or government, the federal government, whether he's doing well or whether he's not doing well. But I don't have sufficient reasons to prosecute him. I don't have sufficient reasons to put him behind the bar. And I don't have the sufficient reasons, right, to impeach him because it's not for me to do. I can criticize, and within the law, I can responsibly do that as a citizen of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So, I also have the right to say the government is doing well and is not doing well. This is what you can do, and this is what you should do. This is what you promised, and these are gaps, and this is exactly. It behoves of the president or the leader, let me use the word leader now, to listen to you and make corrections because he's human. And if he listens from one time to the other and he does the right thing, then of course that means it's a responsive president, leader. Let me use the word leader now. This leader has spent 28% out of his 100% within his tenure in government. He has spent just 28%. He has 72% to go on the journey. And here we are. We are saying he should leave. He should do this. He should do that. Then we don't. What happens to sustainability? What happens to low-hanging fruits? What happens to sustainable ideas and the reforms that he started? You see, that's my question. I'm not saying that people don't have any right to complain. They do. It's a legitimate right. They have it, unhindered, according to the Constitution. They have. I mean, right to protest, right to express your grievances. But my point and my take is that people should responsibly do that. And people should look back and make sure that they don't protest and in a situation whereby it becomes counterproductive. He has just spent 28% of his 100%. And he has done a lot. What are the functions of a leader? What are the qualities of a leader? A leader that is empathetic, a leader that is listening, a leader that is decisive, takes decision at the right time. Leaders are prone to mistakes. But when you make mistakes, you accept it. You are humble enough to accept them. We have seen the attributes of leadership being displayed in this government at the center. So I have not been able to see enough or adequate or sufficient reasons why this president should, excuse, the job. So, well, but that does not mean that there is.
Let me come in there.
Excuse me. That does not mean that this president does not have his plate full. He has a lot on his plate, and his job is cut out for him.
Indeed.
And to believe that you have to wait for 2027 to do anything, no, it is now. I think there is a need for a lot to be done in really managing this situation because our situation requires a total surgery that would not bring any gains immediately. We have to understand
I hear
this,
what you're saying.
and we have to make sacrifices.
Indeed. I hear what you're saying today. I was just going to come in and say that, you do have a sympathetic view, and that is your right. Perhaps you'll also grant that,
Objective view.
Objective and sympathetic of the situation that any leader today in Nigeria would find himself in. It happens to be Tinubu. And so he himself does not shy away from the job. In fact, he famously said at one stage, "Do not pity me. I begged for this job. I applied for this job." And I think it's sufficiently a statesman to know what it takes. Although I will be a bit surprised, I will be perhaps a bit surprised if he wasn't caught unawares by some of the things that have come to pass since he assumed office. Food inflation, first and foremost. We go back to that, my very poor translation of the Yoruba expression, where once you're hungry, reason flies out the window. Food inflation
yes,
is
of
what?
course, food inflation is about 40%. And
there you go. There you go. That
general
exactly.
inflation is about 34%.
And all of
and
these.
And then we have issues of foreign exchange retooling and what have you, and there's more the consequences.
Now you're talking to me. So this is the milieu. This is the milieu in which, let me say it again, that the way I first of all said it, any Nigerian leader, and it happens to be Tinubu and is not shying away from the job, has to operate. These are not the most popular of times for any such leader. But I agree with you that there are things that are being done. And sometimes in frustration, people are likely to say that simply because, well, I will remove the word simply, because I'm hungry, I don't really see anything that is being done. So it's a problem. You yourself rattled off a few of the things that are big problems for us. But you talked about low-hanging fruits. And I think, well, maybe I wouldn't have put it exactly as low-hanging fruits, but things that are being done that are positive and that might not be getting the full value that they need to be given, such as I was speaking about the collective bargaining and the president coming in on it, and now he has approved 70,000 naira. Labor itself says that it was the best option in the circumstance. So he is working. But the challenge here is that I don't know if everybody else is working along with him. And I know that's a very delicate thing for me to say because all the governors will be watching. Everybody puts their, garbage at the doorstep of the president. He is the number one, quote unquote, dustman. Put it there. There are people who have said that, wait a minute, instead of overwhelming that side, what about the governors? What about the governors? They have different situations. Are we really asking them enough? We're asking Mr. President for everything. So maybe that is the kind of thing that we might be talking about as to how to sort of maneuver ourselves in this situation. By all means, later on, you can come to the matter of protest because there are those who are saying that a protest is necessary. As we are speaking, I'm hearing others say that think about this protest properly. What is it going to achieve? Is it really the thing to be doing? Will it not be hijacked and all of those kind of things? I hope you understand. I'm trying to put it in perspective as to why people are very sore at the moment. I don't know if you agree.
Yes, you've touched most of the things that are on the front burner right now. People want to protest, people are angry, people are hungry. I'm hungry too. I mean, my budget have had to make a lot of sacrifices at home and even beyond. I mean, just adjustments just to suit the present economic reality. I think everything boils down to the management of macroeconomic principles, the monetary and the fiscal policies of the administration, given what has happened in the past.
Sorry, let me just make I beg your pardon, Tunde. Forgive me for interrupting you. Let me just make this quick announcement. The Speaker of the House of Reps, Tajuddin Abbas, he's declaring open the Joint Downstream Midstream Petroleum Committee to probe alleged unwholesome activities in an NNPCL. So a section of our broadcast shall switch over to there live. If you want to watch that, by all means, the rest know how to keep on this program in case you want to make your own contributions. Viewers in diaspora will continue to see it without any break. The rest can check it out on our channel on YouTube. We'll continue. So sorry for that, Tunde, but I had to make that announcement. Please go ahead now.
Yes, thank you. I sincerely believe that the president has tried. You know, when he came in, I think it was quoted, I think he said it. He said, let the poor breathe. When I analyze that statement, I look at somebody, I see him as somebody who is empathetic about the people he understood, even right from day one. Right from day one. So if he could say that at that time, and now he's facing challenges, I think it behooves of us as responsible citizens in this country to understand the fact that he's not an armchair president that is working so hard to tackle most of these problems, churning out a lot of policies, a lot of solutions to our problems in a very responsible manner. You know, I think we should have sympathy for him. And that's why I came up with that article, Let the President Breathe.
Let the president breathe. You know, before you continue, Tunde, I'm sure, thank you very much, forgive me, but you do know the nature of our program. It's very, very interactive. And Mr. George has called in. Let me take that call, his contribution to the program, and then we'll continue. Good morning, Mr. George.
Good morning, Uncle Yori. Good morning to our guest this
Mr. Tunde Imolehin.
Yes. Uncle Yori, there is all over the world where changes or reformations take place, it comes with pains. But in the case of Nigeria, many of the aides of the president himself are contributing to these pains that come with the reforms. See what is happening at the oil sector. We have a refinery, even though privately owned, that can service this country effectively and solve many of these problems that are causing agitation. It will improve foreign exchange, it will improve transportation costs, it will improve, standard of living. But see what Nigerians themselves are doing, working hard to make sure it does not happen. See the power sector. They are generating an average of 3,000 megawatts for 200 million people. And they want to make 2.7 trillion naira from 3,000 megawatts. They are migrating people without their consent to their band A, what they call band A, where the tariff has been increased by 300%. If all these are happening at the same time, who is to blame? If I were the president, by now I would have fired the Minister of Power and fired the NNPC GND. If he doesn't do things like that, even his own appointed officials would be the ones that will incite the public against him, as it's already happening in the power sector now. You must be hearing that people are talking about protest. I talk to the grassroots. Yeah. These are the things that are causing it. We are not against reforms. If you don't reform, you can never make progress in any economy. And that's what the president is doing. But this, some of the people, not all of them, please get me right, not all the officials, some of them are working against the reformation. And the president has to check it. He should start from this Dangote refinery thing and continue it with the power minister. That's what I feel. Thank you.
Thank you very much for calling in, Mr. George. Tunde, go ahead.
I want to agree with that that caller, that the president needs to really, really do something about these spoilers of these reforms, whether directly or indirectly. He has the powers, constitutionally he does, and politically he can. And I think that's an area where they are expecting the president to do something. You see, nobody would have thought that the president would successfully come up with this local government policy. But he sought advice and, recommendation and suggestions of people, of technocrats, and he came up with a legal, option, formula that actually worked. And today we are talking about local government autonomy. And that is, a very brilliant policy that is going to be sustainable over time by the time it becomes operational. You know, let me quickly say something about the fact that it shouldn't be the president alone that should be, you know, the focus of attention. The subnationals also have a role to play in making sure that they complement whatever is happening at the center, given the political structure that we have in the country today. The question is that how much are they bringing to the table? When President Tinubu came up the other day, he liberated the energy, you know, environment, ecosystem, by giving autonomy to the subnationals. What have they done? I think it's about 2 states, 1 or 2 states that have taken advantage of that opportunity. So people should be asking questions. People should be asking the National Assembly, why is it that you voted out the opportunity to oversight the money meant for insurgency?
Yeah.
Senator Oshamole came up
that was
with
a
that
wacky
statement,
story.
and it was
You're very
voted
right.
out.
That was a wacky
These are
statement.
issues. Yes, these are issues that people should be engaging. You see, there are 3 arms of government: the judiciary, the executive, and the legislature. You know, I'm not here to grandstand. I'm here to look at the issues. You know, based on my experience. I'm a public governance and leadership scholar, and I know what is required of leadership. And this president has done. It may not have completely done exactly what is expected, and that is why I'm here asking him. You need to hit that door. That door is begging for your attention. Hit it hard, very hard, enough so that you will not be, at the receiving end on behalf of the spoilers of our economy and on behalf of the spoilers of our country.
Okay, one moment. One moment. Ada has called in, and I've
so
kept
you
her
need to do something. You need to take that very important decision.
Ada, can you hear me?
To
Go ahead
address
now.
this thing.
Yeah, so
please go ahead, Ada.
For too long.
I'm so sorry.
Good morning, Ada, calling from just Plateau State. Yes, Tinubu stewardship. I've said it times without number. No matter what, whatever he's put on ground, and he doesn't address this issue of the high price in fuel and diesel, we're going nowhere. All these politics is giving is waste of money, waste of time. You know, it's not pulling anybody out of poverty. Then let him put an eye on this Dangote issue. Why the Dangote refinery that we are hoping that it will now help us out. Look at the issues on ground now. Why can't they look into it? And then look at the NNPC or NMPC or whatever it's called. What is going on? Why are they more interested in importing the fuel? Why are they more interested in that? You know, it's corruption, nothing else. It's nothing short of it. There's hunger in the land. I've said it times without number. I'm a fan of Tinubu from the onset. I feel he can really fix this country. But there are a lot of things happening. Everything revolves around this fuel thing. And then insecurity. The law enforcement agents, they are doing their bit, but they are doing it piecemeal. Even if it means Nigeria standing still for 3 days, let them do a coordinated visit simultaneously in all those forests. That is the problem. You know, we can't continue shying away from it. You know, the protests they want to start in 1st of August. If you shut people down, bottle them up. My fear is that there might be an unorganized set of people who are so hungry that will come, and not even these young people. You know, just like that. So just let him do something about fuel and diesel. How you want to do it, I don't know. All I know is that is where the whole thing revolves, and insecurity. Oh, so let's argue for Nigeria.
Thank you very much, Ada, for calling in. Mr. Imolehin, there you said, how he's going to do it, I don't know, but let him just get on with it. So people trust in the president,
yes,
but it doesn't matter how much you trust in a person, there still is a situation on the ground that I expect him to be slugging away at. It seems to be the attitude that a lot of people have.
The president is a very smart man. He's very smart, and I know, and he's very responsive. He gauges. I won't be surprised if he's watching this program. He's someone that you will have noticed, if you had noticed. I mean, since he started his tenure, he's been very responsive. Any slight observation by the people, by any organization, whether it's government, whether it's the people, whether it's the civil society, he responds so quickly. I mean, issue of corruption in his executive, he addressed it. Issue of appointments, he addressed it. Very, very proactive president. I would want to advise him, he should, anything that is going to make it impossible, because I know him, he wants to etch a name in the sands, on the sands of time. He wants to be the best president Nigeria has ever produced. He wants to be the best human being that has ever come from this planet, from Nigeria. He's a very ambitious man, and he's a very hardworking president. But he needs to be decisive. He needs to hit that door. That door is locked. He needs to break that door. That door that makes it impossible for us to attain our potentials in this country. That is part of our agenda in APC. He needs to break that door now, no matter whose ox is God. Because if he doesn't do that, he's going to be the victim. And the people will continue to wallow in poverty. For instance, look at the palliatives. Good idea. And there are some middlemen in the name of party officials, in the name of government officials that are making it very, very impossible. And the people that are supposed to even be the whistleblowers are not even doing anything. So it's a collective. The responsibility is collective. The president is there. It's an organogram. There is a hierarchy. There's a hierarchy of corruption. There's a hierarchy of responsibility. There's a hierarchy of providing the democrats of the development of democracy. If
we'll be right back. Let me take a break now.
Won't have a problem.
We'll be right back after this short break. Stay with us, please.
Every weekday on Business Nigeria, we uncover the secrets of the financial world,
breaking down intricate economic and financial matters.
We analyze the stock market, shares, bonds, and the thrilling world of cryptocurrencies.
We unveil and analyze complex policies of the CBN and other government parastatals as they affect your everyday life, keeping you a step ahead every time.
Okay. This is the very good. Facts matter. Our team dives deep to separate fact from popular opinion.
We simplify complex government policies as it impacts your everyday life, helping you navigate the ever-changing financial landscape.
Watch Business Nigeria every weekday at 2 p.m. only on TVC News. First.
Okay, welcome back. We're in the middle of something of an emergency. There are a lot of problems in the land. Hunger is among them. And just as we were going away, we were talking, among other things, about, for instance, when that caller called in, he had spoken about what is perceived as efforts to frustrate, for example, the Dangote refinery. And this is coming from, a statement by the CEO of the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority, Farouk Ahmed. The statements that he had made, that Dangote had now responded to. None of this is helping, but what Mr. Farouk Ahmed had done was that nothing could be farther from the truth. This whole notion, this whole idea that, the refinery was somehow, in the target sites of, government to sort of bring it down, discredit it, demarket it, and all of those kind of things. I don't know if you wanted to talk about that particular aspect, because this is a thing that, although you could say that Farouk Ahmed was speaking on behalf, it was the presidency that released, when I say the presidency has a certain office, digital office where they put out information about government generally. That's where that particular statement was first of all seen from. What do you think, Tunde?
Okay. I feel that the president should do what he did with Central Bank. A private investigator should be employed to look at our oil sector. And because that is the only low-hanging fruit that we have right now, we need to really eradicate oil theft. We need to. I really don't want to dabble into Dangote, Ahmed imbroglio. I mean, because there are issues there. I mean, we're talking about monopoly of commodities and what
All
somebody
of
has
those
done in the
terms
past
were
or
used.
somebody is doing in the present.
Yeah.
So I really don't want to, because
and the interest of Nigeria.
So I really bet.
Interest of Nigeria and all of
I
those
want
kind
to
of
advise the president to set up a private investigator. Set up a private,
independent.
To appoint a private investigator, independent, just the way he did with Central Bank for the oil sector. He should do the same thing with the power sector. Honestly, he should.
Babs in Lagos.
With CBN actually succeeded.
1 second, please.
Hello?
Babs in Lagos, you've been holding on for a while. Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning, Uncle Yori.
Good morning, sir. Thank you for holding on. Go ahead, please.
You see, some of us that are very staunch supporters of Mr. President are beginning to have a rethink about how this whole thing is going on in the country. We supported him because we know what he can do, and we're beginning to see that, especially from the presidency angle, uncoordinated incidents that's happening. Because normally there are things you don't play politics. You can play politics with anything, but when it comes to economic policy, food, something that would energize the economy, whether you're going to step on toes or not, you don't care. Just get it done. So, but we're beginning to see that even if we cannot come out openly to defend the president anymore because of what actually is, the whole coordinated, uncoordinated stuff. Look at the Dangote issue. Whether he's monopolizing or not, he's creating jobs in the country. I'm really very angry this morning when I saw the news that they were even offering, to sell this refinery to NNPC. I don't know. What is wrong with our people? To sabotage everywhere. We don't want the people who are bent on not allowing that country to work. What the hell is wrong with us as a people? Societies are a problem. Everybody just keep doing whatever they want, and Mr. President is there. I will not tell me he doesn't know what is going on and what he can do about it. Let him just do something. Because all these protest things people are talking about is all about people are angry and they are looking at him as if, okay, we can do something, and he's not doing anything. So what do you want them to do? So please, Mr. President has the means of hearing us at this moment. Let's just stick to whatever we want. Let him do, whether it's going to work and bring down the food inflation, make the economic work. You are tired of this. You are tired. Thank you.
Thank you, Babs, and thank you also for holding on. Tunde, there you are, the viewpoint there that there are some uncoordinated things going on, perhaps, that really is confusing. The president is supposed to have an overarching view of the entire country. It might not be in the greatest of detail, but I don't think it's permitted for him not to be totally unaware of certain key aspects. And this, okay, Tunde, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you. Hello. Can you hear us? Can you hear us? Hello, can you hear us? Oh dear. Oh dear. Well, I'll continue speaking just in case you might hear us. It might be a touching thing. Any better luck? Can you hear? Can you hear anything? If not, we'll take a quick break. See if we can fix it. Because nothing is going to happen if you can't hear us. Tunde, can you hear us? Okay, tell you what, I have another caller on the line. Let me take him, but I don't know how much good that is going to do if you can't hear him, so you can't even comment on what he is saying. But good morning, Mazi Okorafo.
Yeah, Mazi Okorafo from Arujuku.
Oh dear, what are the systems doing this morning? Okay, while we're at it, we're waiting to get Tunde back. But one of the things that Babs calling out of Lagos, had said was that you can hear now. Okay, let me go back to, thank God for that. Let me go back to Babs' call. And Babs was of the opinion that it does appear as if there's so many, some uncoordinated things going on. For example, and I don't know what you thought about that. I was saying earlier that the president is supposed to have an overarching view of what's going on in the environment, but so I don't know how you see that. The federal authorities, at least the public interest people, the Nigeria Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority, NMDPRA, through its chief executive officer, had said that there was absolutely no truth in the idea that they were trying to frustrate the Dangote refinery. I know that you had said that you don't really wish to go into that, issues of monopoly or not, but the statements that were made by Farouk Ahmed, brought Dangote out, livid, and rebutting left, right, and center, and even challenging them that stuff that they were putting out there simply wasn't fair. It wasn't even true. And there are those who are now saying that there seems to be a deliberate effort to frustrate the successful launch and running of that whole operation. I don't know. It's an elephant right there. I know you said you don't want to talk about it, but it's out there and it's current. You can't hear it again? Okay. Today is going to be one of those kind of days. Okay. Hello, Tunde. You can hear us now. I don't know if you heard when Babs in Lagos called in. Whatever you heard there, he was complaining that there seems to be an uncoordinated response to issues, and that he wishes everything could have been much more coordinated. Then perhaps we'll be able to see where we're going and know what to grab hold of and what to do. I don't know if you heard that part of it. I'm really paraphrasing now, because yep, I suspect.
No, there's audio problem here. I really don't know.
Okay, but can you hear me now? Yes. Hello. I can hear you. I don't know if it is the same. If you can hear me there too. Okay, it's gone to the dogs. Go ahead. This particular Monday, get as it be. We'll take a short break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
There is always more to a story than the scribbled line. The part of a story that is not told casts a shadow. It's like the part of an object that is not reached by light. On TVC News, I'm able to explore the many angles there are to a story, talking to stakeholders, asking the difficult questions, and digging for facts. I believe the viewers are able to make a better decision if they're well informed and understand not just a part, but the complete story. TVC News, first with breaking news.
Experience information and entertainment like never before as TVC Breakfast takes your weekends to a whole new level. Introducing TVC Breakfast Weekend Edition, your ultimate source of thrilling sports updates, insightful political analysis, and captivating entertainment news. Stay in the know with what's trending, catch up with the latest in sports, and immerse yourself in the latest buzz from the world of music and movies. Your weekends are no longer just days off, but moments packed with knowledge, excitement, and enjoyment. TVC Breakfast Weekend Edition, only on TVC News.
Information is power, information is security, information is knowledge. Unlabeled lens to believe that working people around the world have real questions of their own. They want to know how the world of work operates, what it means to the employer of labor, how policies affect workers in the workplace. Unlabeled lens are ensure we engage effectively the organized labor, organized private sector, and government to get out of them information workers are in need of. I am Sharon Ijason, asking questions that make you get sense of the workplace.
Okay, we're here to try again. We thank you for bearing with us with this difficult technical issue that we're trying to throw. Architect Tunde Imolehin is in our Abuja studio, an environmentalist, and he's an architect. And he's trying to. We're trying to look at the situation. And I was trying to go back to a call we had a little while back, where Babs, calling in from Lagos, was saying that there seemed to be, in his view, uncoordinated policy thrusts coming out, and that is not helping matters at all. He started off by saying that he's forever, he's a supporter of the presidency and the president, but that in recent times, he's beginning to hope that he doesn't have a need to rethink. Would you like to take it from there, if you could hear all that I just said?
Can I say uncoordinated, or I can say that they are here to bear results?
Okay.
Because there are two solutions to the problem. There are long-term solutions and there are short-term solutions. The long-term solutions, we cannot see the results for now because the gestation period, is not 5 months, 6 months, 1 year. And like when Wole Soyinka said, I cannot assess the president now, he knew what he was talking about. 28% of the 100% has just been spent, not up to 50%, and you want to, if possible, impeach the president. I would want to urge everyone, fellow Nigerians, to give the president some time. I am not saying he shouldn't do things before 2027. He has to make sure the people are alive to see 2027. If they're not alive before and in 2027, they would not be able to vote him in if he so desires to reconcile.
Okay, today, let me try Mazio Okorafor again. I beg your pardon. I know I'm interrupting. I'm so sorry about that. But Mazio Okorafor, we lost him the last time. Good morning, Mazio Okorafor.
Good morning, sir. That's Mazio Okorafor. You see, sir, there's one thing Nigeria don't understand. There's no how Tom, Dick, and Harry can do at the same pedestal. It's not possible. Now, ask yourself, when Buhari was leaving the office, they said Dangote refinery will be functional. Nigeria were very, very happy. Now, look at it. Was it last 2 months Dangote raised an alarm that the foreign companies in Nigeria being managed by foreigners and back up with Nigerians are sabotaging his effort to get crude oil. And that is why he was importing oil from US. Now, sir, you tell me, the president, Tinubu, has just come down and said, was not moving with Dangote. At least he has visited Dangote several times. And other members have visited Dangote. It's not that they're putting the image of Dangote. It's to put the image of Dangote that they're behind. But some people have seen that somewhere. Tell me, why must Nigerians back up oil companies from outside country to sabotage Dangote from getting crude oil? And we're very happy when they said Dangote is coming to move that the oil is in started production. I was expecting that 24 hours crude oil will be coming production. Look at the cost of bringing crude oil from outside Nigeria to Nigeria. How much it costs? Now tell me, if this oil, the NNPC people have been saying it as they are repeating it, the cabals in NNPC are Nigerian problems. As long as the cabals are still there in NNPC, we cannot achieve anything from the oil. I've said it down.
Okay, Mazi, because of time, I beg your pardon, Mazi, thank you very much. Because of time, I can't take more, but you have said enough for us to work on. And let me just say in relation to that, Tunde, you're hearing this as well, you might want to comment on it. All of this is stemming mostly from the recent statements of Farouk Ahmed, CEO at the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority. And he said, first of all, that none of that was true. That he said it was a campaign in the media. And after he said that, Dangote came out, and I think as late as yesterday, was making statements that he rebutted everything that was being said, and he actually made a case that they were painting them black for no reason, with outright untruth. So that's the situation we have here. On the one hand, a lot of Nigerians have gotten hold of the idea that the Dangote refinery is being sabotaged, but we have got the definitive statement from Mr. Farouk Ahmed that this is nothing could be further from the truth. So I guess it is like a lot of things in Nigeria, the way it is, and everybody's going to have their own take on the situation. I know, Tunde, you said earlier you don't want to go in there, but Mr. Farouk said quite a lot of stuff that I think has rattled Mr. Dangote, so much so that he's even said that, you know what, let NNPC come and buy me out. And I don't know how you let them come and buy me out, since everybody's calling me a monopolist, and he said it as if it probably is, but he said it as if monopolist is a dirty word, and he seemed quite pained. You've seen the video. So in addition to all the stuff that we're contending with as Nigerians, there is this as well. Tunde, it's over to you. Would you believe it? They can't hear me again. Now at this rate, I don't know what we're going to do, because I think I just looked at my watch, and I think we have about 3 minutes or so left. But Tunde was going to talk about assessing the stewardship of the president. Among the things that he would have wanted to talk about, no doubt, if technology had been kinder, would have been things like, I think he touched on the collective bargaining and the new minimum wage that we have. He was talking about he was talking about the reform, shall we say, that we're sort of going through in the local councils, local government councils, where now direct monies will be paid to them, and some other kind of reforms that Mr. President is working on. All of this is to better our lot. But today made much of the fact that in terms of percentages, he's broken Mr. President's term so far, the duration of his term so far, to just 28% of what he has to spend. And that I think he was making the case that there's so much more that can be done, and you can expect, given some of the more laudable initiatives that we have seen from Mr. President. There's the whole students' loan thing, ideas that we were all hailing at the time. But as I said at the beginning, just before Tunde started, all of these, excellent, as they are, they tend to be overshadowed by challenges of a difficult living that Nigerians find themselves having to make. It does look as if we're not going to get Tunde back, which I apologize for. It's a technical issue. I don't know exactly what the nature of it is. But the program, as you know, isn't for me to come and be editorializing here. It's really to hear guests as well as phone-ins on, whatever the topical issue of the day is. So I guess we're going to have to leave it here, lest I become a one-man editorial team, beginning to feed you with my own version of things. Thank you very much. It'll be much better tomorrow, touch wood. Thank you very much for staying with us. We'll leave it here for now. Bye-bye for now.